Good morning, team. That's the right attitude. I like that. Laying down on the job because what day is it? It's Sunday, and we all know what that means. It's not in a hurry day. We're not going to be in a hurry, T-Rex. We're just going to slowly go out the door, okay? Just slowly go out the door, okay? Take your time. Steve, you got the right hat. Okay. Wait a minute. Stop the presses. 33 degrees, is that right? Sunshine and a cloud, I think that is right. Temperature indoor is 65. Heat came on last night. Yeah, with all that wind. It's Sunday, not in a hurry day. November 10th, we're into double digits in the second week of November. And it's pretty. We have a high pressure system right over us. Steve already sees some action. What do you see, Steve? What do you say we put you on your placeholder there? And alto cumulus and blue sky, sinking air, roses blooming on November 10th. Let's get a second opinion on that temperature, though. I'm not sure I believe it. I can see down at lower elevations, but I'm up on a hill right here. There was radiational cooling last night. And what do you say? You say 38. I think that's right. I think that other digital thermometer needs a reboot. You always got to have backup equipment. Yeah, I know they're not the best looking, but they're still here. We have not had a frost. There are the buds right there. So proof, that's called empirical evidence. I still have budding flowers and peppers, but we need the rain. So I'll take any kind of front that brings rain. And that storm from Colorado, are we done talking about that Colorado storm? Well, no. Because our friend Luke Stone was out there with his camera crew, or however he made this video yesterday, on the snowboard at Wolf Creek, Colorado. And Wolf Creek wasn't even the snowiest spot. And Luke says it's the best powder day he's ever had so early in the season. And we're getting a lot of ground truth to that. So it looks like it was about a 3 to 4 foot snowstorm to eastern Colorado, that place there near Trinidad. We talked about Trinidad, Colorado. A new meteorologist I met on Twitter, on X this morning. We didn't actually meet, but I followed him. And his parents live in Trinidad, and he shared this photo from Trinidad. So I just discovered Trinidad last week when I was forecasting the weather for Colorado, and I want to visit there now. What's going on in New England? Temperatures this morning were cold. I think it's the coldest so far, but we didn't decouple the atmosphere here in Weymouth, so I didn't get any frost. But you can see the temperatures mostly below freezing, except for Boston was in the 30s, Nantucket and Chatham, but I'm sure there were even freezing places in those places, freezing spots in those towns. So most of us have had a freeze already this season. The warmest spot this morning, believe it or not, was 4,000 feet up the Mount Washington Auto Road. The base was 24, the summit was 24, and 4,000 feet was 37 degrees. And the big news around here is how dry it's been, and we have a red flag warning in effect. Someone asked me the other day, is fire weather a thing? Yes, fire weather is a thing, especially not so much in New England, but talk about it in the West, where the forests catch on fire. Around here, it's mostly ground fires. I don't think I've had a forest fire in my life. I know there have been historic forest fires in New England, and you can research that, but we have our ground fires burning. And yesterday, driving back from Cape Cod, I could see smoke in the sky over the South Shore, but when I got home last night, I saw the smoke coming up from to our north. I made this little video here. The planes are landing right through that smoke plume, and I'm like, what is that? And then further research, I've been away for a few days down on the Cape. I didn't see it. That shows that there's a fire in Lynn, and I can see it going again this morning. Now, fortunately, it's less windy, but it's called the Lynn Woods Fire. So the Lynn Woods are on fire, and I couldn't see them earlier. Come on, try and focus. Oh, and by the way, my audio changes when I focus and I zoom, and when I move the camera this way and this way. Thank you for the feedback on the audio issues. Yesterday, I wore my wireless lavalier microphone, which you can only hear in your left ear because I only wore my left mic. And there's a plane coming in. So the fire's burning there, and someone, I think his name is Jack, came over the fire yesterday in Lynn and shared this view from a plane. He said he was taken off from Logan. And also Danielle Muir, we know her from the radio. She's a drone pilot, and she sent up her drone this morning on the North Shore, where the smoke, where the inversion last night kind of just laid down near the ground. And now with the rising sun and the inversion breaking, we're going to have the wind aloft mixing down, and you can actually see that happening. Thank you, Danielle, very much for that video this morning. And so there's a plane going right over Winthrop. You can see Winthrop right there in the center. That's the famous tower, red, white, and blue tower there. And Lynn would be just a little further north of that, I would say, is what we're looking at. As far as the wind mixing down, what I mean is at night when you have high pressure, and there's a 1030 high right over Long Island this morning, you get clear sky and light winds, and it goes calm. And then as the sun comes up and it starts to warm up the atmosphere, then those winds start to mix down. You get some rising air wherever the sun is starting to shine. Like that tree, right, that top of that pussy willow is going to be the warmest thing in my backyard right now, and that air starts to rise. Anyhow, the wind mixes down. It's not going to be anywhere near as windy as the last 24 hours, but we are going to get southwesterly winds today and increasing clouds. Fascinating view from space this morning, the satellite image showing the remnant of that Colorado-New Mexico storm lifting across the Great Lakes, and a front extending down to the Gulf of Mexico. Looks massive, and there's a look at that shadow being cast by the back edge of the cloud from Lake Michigan all the way down there to East Texas. Wow, a massive cloud is coming in. And what about precipitation? Well, there's flash flooding. Here's the radar, a couple of spots there, those green rectangles, some flash flooding going on the west side of the Appalachians, on the east side of the Mississippi River. So there's a wall of water aimed right at New England. It cannot miss, right? Well, maybe it cannot miss, but it can diminish, and that's what it's going to do. New England has become the place where fronts go to dry. That has to do with how the waves work. Time out for a little look at this wave way up in the sky right there. So Ross Budd flying across New Jersey says it's quite turbulent at 2,600 feet. That's right, and there's differential advection happening now. Warmer air is coming in aloft over the top of the colder air. It's called overrunning, and it makes these beautiful cloud structures. So a fun altocumulus cloud day with the cloud waves and some rain. When's the rain going to get here? Not during the day today. Looks like a pretty nice day for most of New England. Some showers coming in late. If you look at the Weather Prediction Center map, it shows the front several low pressure systems moving into southeastern Canada. So whenever the lows go to your north, the counterclockwise circulation puts warmer air on the south side from the southwest, and just a little bit of green showing up there with some showers late today. And then if we advance to tomorrow morning, there's a warm front right over us and a cold front coming in behind us. There's going to be a quick burst of showers, not a steady rain, I don't think, for most of us, just intermittent showers coming in tonight and tomorrow. And it's going to be warmer air and then colder air. Boston 5-day from weather.us, and it shows the temperature today in the 50s with the wind not that strong, but then tomorrow it becomes more windy from the southwest, pushes the temperature to 65 degrees tomorrow, and then we cool it off on Tuesday. Now Tuesday night, look at that. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and Thursday morning, that red line, the temperature line, touches 32 in Boston, perhaps the first 32. But again, I think I'll believe it when I see it right in the city. I mean, plenty of us have already had a freeze. And look at the dew point, though. This is bad news. The blue line is the dew point, goes way down into the 20s and teens, so the fire danger is going to remain high. I don't think there's enough rain coming in here. The Euro says 0.1 for Boston. Let's go to the latest HRRR. It's called the 12Z, and I'm out before the 12Z run was done, but if it was anything like the 6Z run, here it is, quantitative precipitation, and you can see the purples and blues in Pennsylvania. That's more than an inch of rain in western Pennsylvania, and then the wave attenuates. The flattening in the jet stream of the trough flattening attenuates the wave, which means weakens the wave. Sometimes they resonate, get stronger. Other times they attenuate, get weaker, and we have attenuating fronts coming across New England this fall now, all of a sudden, after so many years of fronts getting stronger when they came in here with all those floods. But anyhow, the rainfall amounts are less than 1/10 of an inch of rain in central New England there. Some spots not getting even enough to make a puddle. You get toward the Canadian border, and there's some action because of a front to the north, and you get to the south coast, and there's going to be a little bit of a wave on the south coast. So in between, those places may get 1/4 to 1/2 inch, but most of us are getting less than 1/4 of an inch of rain. So that's bad news. And then wait till you see what's happened after that. Before we get to the really disturbing latest guidance from the Euro, I say disturbing because I like to snow ski, let's look at the positive. What happened yesterday at Killington? State-of-the-art technology. Look at those HKD guns
go. High efficiency, more snow, less energy, less water. That is brilliant what you did with a 30-hour window yesterday, covering Superstar top to bottom. Does this guarantee we're in good shape for the World Cup? No, it does not. But there's another window coming in on Monday night and Tuesday into Wednesday. It looks like a colder window, and it looks like a lower wet bulb temperature. So the lower the wet bulb, the difference between the temperature and the dew point, the more efficient your snowmaking is going to be. So they should be able to blast out another couple of feet of snow on Tuesday into Wednesday. And here's how it looks on the synoptic map. That's the map that shows the L's and the H's. And if you watch these long enough, you're going to learn what all the other lines mean too. I try and talk about them every day. Wind is air moving from high to low pressure. So our high pressure moves east of New England. That's the blue H. And the isobars, the black lines, push the upper level blue lines and red lines in our direction. The blue lines are the cold enough for snow. The red lines are warmer. So we're in the warm air advection with two lows, powerful lows going to our north. The first one bringing in warmer air, and then the second one digging in here tomorrow night and Tuesday. That is a nice looking front. That looks like a colder front than the one we just had, and that's a change to the forecast from last week. It didn't look as impressive, but after that it kind of goes off the rails. So we've been talking about stopping the maps on Thursday, so nice cold window there. The cold starts to lift out on Wednesday. High pressure goes to our north, and that usually means it does not warm up very fast. And we were talking about a storm in the Great Lakes on Thursday, but wait, what? Huh? Look at this, stopping at Thursday at 1 p.m. For the last 5 days in a row, there was some kind of storm near Lake Superior or Ontario with perhaps a blizzard. Now, nothing like that at all. Look where the low pressure system is. It's over the Florida Panhandle and Georgia. Talk about going off the rails. I talk about how to make an accurate forecast. You need to see some consistency in the guidance, and this is just ludicrous. Well, at least if the low is... It's so different, it makes it ludicrous. If the low is down there, doesn't that mean it can come up the coast as a nor'easter? Okay, let's see how that works. All right, put it back in motion. Thursday night and Friday. Oh, didn't yesterday you say it was going to snow on Friday? Well, I said the Euro said it was going to snow, and I said I don't think that's going to really happen because it looked like voodoo to me. And that low goes out way off to the south of New England. And we have the storm that was supposed to back in staying way off to the east of Newfoundland. And we're left high and dry next weekend with a warming trend and no snow and no rain. If this guidance is right, and I can guarantee that this guidance is wrong, but the trend has been for the front to come to New England and do something for us. So I'm not going to completely give up. I'm not going to give up at all. I'm just going to say that we do not know what's going to happen after 3 days. I think we're pretty confident through about Tuesday night and Wednesday with this next cold shot and limited precipitation. Some upslope snow is going to happen on Tuesday. And then after that, we just don't know. It's going to be a crapshoot. The GFS was printing out this big snowstorm for Thursday. I didn't even show it because I thought it was so out of touch, and even that's completely gone now. That does show a little clipper. At the same time on Thursday, when the Euro shows that storm way down there over Georgia, the GFS has something over New York and Pennsylvania, which is actually more logical. All right, so I'll show you that. Here's the more logical GFS. But even that clipper is going to, according to the GFS guidance, sail to the south of New England without even getting us because of the new negative North Atlantic oscillation. I show this. I know it takes some research on how to read this, but essentially the waves there are the blocking in the Greenland area, and when they're way up above zero there, that's a positive non-blocking pattern. Then when it goes negative with those red lines going below and it goes down, that's called the blocking pattern, negative North Atlantic oscillation. And I've seen plenty of times when that Greenland blocking does develop and we see storms coming to the east coast and then deflected to our south. So there is some logic to what the Euro is trying to do because of the blocking. But I think with the transition of the weather pattern, we are still in a more favorable pattern to keep winter around here, or early winter. But there's low confidence on how it's going to play out, other than the temperatures are going to be more seasonable, and we do not have any record high temperatures coming in on the backside of this cold, which has happened so many times. Every time we've had cold around here, it's turned record warm. It's happened about 4 times in the last 7 weeks, but that's not happening this time. So seasonable chill is coming back. And we are just going to be watching and waiting for a more clear picture on Thursday and Friday. I still think there's going to be some action around here, but obviously with both the GFS and the Euro saying not much, TK is going to have to say not much, but as we love to say, we're should be interesting. You know what's really interesting too? All right, that's the end of the weather segment. Look at that bird way up there. What is that? Looks like a duck. Oh, I can't see it. Love all of you people that enlighten me. Kate telling me that her husband says, she always said, my husband says, that the leaves that stay on the trees, on those oak trees and other trees, beech trees, over the winter, they do not encounter abscission, which causes leaves to fall off the trees. Some leaves stay on the tree, and they call it mersescence. Mercensis. I can't say it. I'll just show you the word. Thank you, Kate, for that scientific term for something I've observed my whole life, why leaves don't fall off some trees, but now I understand the science behind it. So I love being enlightened, and all the comments, I can't memorize all the comments, but we really appreciate it. And people watching from outside of New England that like to watch our weather, that's what we do. The and more from yesterday. So what I do is I do the forecast today. You see what today's weather is. And then the and more means that whatever I saw that was interesting yesterday, and yesterday was sort of a work day. I just tried to make progress on getting the Bass River Beauty House ready for the cold season. So I drained the hoses and I shut off the outdoor water shower there. I haven't shut it off here. I did take an outdoor shower last night. Maybe I'll talk about that a little bit. And more coming from Cape Cod, where we did a bunch of chores, and then driving up Route 3. I don't think I'm going to include much of this, but as I was going along Route 3, I saw many spots where there was smoke in the sky. And I was concerned because as I got off the highway coming right up into Weymouth, I saw smoke in the sky. And hopefully that Lynn fire is going to be brought under control, but the fire weather is going to actually get worse before it gets better, even though tomorrow we're going to pick up 1/10 of an inch of rain. So the and more from yesterday. Thanks for watching. 17 minutes. Wow, you people are patient. And I also market these videos as sleep aids, because with the music and the time lapse helps you fall asleep. Steve is just staring at the person on the beach, and T-Rex is just saying, I'm done, I want to go in, it's snack time. You're right, T-Rex, here I come. Here's the and more from yesterday. Oh, one more thing. Oh, birds. One more thing I wanted to mention before the end more was yesterday the wind was so strong, my flag came loose. One of the attachments broke on the line. The pole was fine. These birds are flying right in front of us. But the flag came down, and Art, my neighbor, brought it down, folded it up for me, and then I put it back up last evening. Just now, the wind decouples right there as the sun hits the top of those bushes. You saw it happen right before our very eyes. Thanks, Art. Okay, here's the and more from yesterday. And at the end of the time lapse, you'll see the flag pole without a flag on it. But we remedied that, and we're ready for the next windstorm on Tuesday. Beautiful Saturday. Pretty chilly. Pretty and chilly. Good day for raking towards the south. The waves on Fallon's Pond. Love waves. Don't we love waves? And light rays. Definitely into raking season. And still got flowers too. I made some progress. A lot of cleaning. Lost a hinge on the door, so I can't put the door back on, but put the grill back together. It was really dirty, I had to clean it. But it's working. We have the winter grill ready to go. The porch is mostly cleaned off, or the deck, whatever we call it. And I put the geraniums in the door, because it's fun to have flowers in the winter. How about this guy? Look at that aloe. Talk about the will to live. Always more to do. Always some stuff left over. We can root those geraniums, pretty rocks, and head north. Maybe we can get to Bert's before the sun goes down. All right, yeah. So for those of you who don't follow along, the grill getting fired back up was pretty important because it flew off the deck a couple days ago and it lit up. Just gotta get a new hinge for the door. And now there's plenty of running room for Rex if he should come to Cape Cod again. Let's go find Rex. Still plenty of leaves up in the sky and the trees though. And that cam is working again. Thank you, Michael and Cormac. Yeah, but there's still a bunch of leaves up in the trees.
Fun game, isn't it?
We all share the leaves, everyone in the neighborhood. We go from one yard to another. Jump for the rocks. Next project right there, get rid of those. Otherwise utilize them.
See you next time. Greasing the sun. I'm not going to be home in time for a sunset, but got the moon up there. Love the low sun angle on the red oak. I don't think the camera does it justice. So we're not going to make sunset at Burt's or in Weymouth. What a time lapse of a cloud-free day. I don't know. It's kind of boring. Sunday, not in a hurry day. Laid back. Sleep aid type videos here at Out the Door. Weather and more. Plymouth. I think I can smell some smoke. I can certainly see it in the sky. Wow, where are those fires? So the air's coming from the northeast, probably. Al Stewart on the radio. I had an uncle named Al Stewart. Anyhow, just going through, I think, Duxbury. Just past the smoke. I wasn't rolling on it, but the smoke was over there. It looks like it's either Duxbury or Situate. Fire's going right now. See? Oh boy, there goes a fire truck towards North Weymouth. It's not a fire. No. Actually, they're pulling into this complex. I saw this the other day too. Medical emergency or something. Hull. It says Hull on it. On. Is there a fire up there? There's a bunch of emergency vehicles. There's no smoke. Oh, I see smoke up there though. Oh boy. A Hull fire engine just pulled into Weymouth. What's going on? Looks like the fire's over there. Another fire somewhere over there. 4:30. Back in North Weymouth. As far as I can tell, North Weymouth is not on fire, but I passed a bunch of different smoke plumes. Waxing, Beaver Moon. Come on, focus. Down to Burt's Boatyard where it is jacket weather.
It's going to be close to 32. Was it 32 this morning? This is the and more. And more and more and more. Time lapse of shadows and water going up and down. Because that's all I got. Talk to you tomorrow.
Is that Rudolph? Is Rudolph in here? Oh my goodness, it is Rudolph.